right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Coffee and Craps with John from Pro Craps over here at Casino Gaming TV. We're going to go ahead and get started with our 4 rolls to goal series here. Let's see, yesterday I think I had one roll and I was out of money. So again, we're going to keep doing it, right? The idea here is, what can I do in 4 rolls if I only had 4 rolls? If I was out the door waiting for, or my cab was here to go to the airport and I got 4 rolls to get in and get out. This is my last money, my last $350 that I've got. In the world, we'll say, okay? There's 300 on the inside. We're gonna go ahead and grab some reds here for these greens, and we're gonna go to 330 on the inside. We'll go 90 bucks, 6 and 8, 75, 5 and 9. I have 20 bucks left over. I will take that for the hard ways today. Get everything in action. Everything's off, by the way, for the come out. We're just gonna get a point established here, and then we're gonna roll it through. And yeah, before I roll, actually, I want to show you something before I actually get started. These are going to be kind of hard to see, I think, on camera, but these came in today. I'm going to show them to you closely. They are, we get the words going the right way for you. Those are the Color Up black dice arrived today. They're there, the black Color Up dice. These things are as cool as all get out. I love my white dice. I like the solid whites. These are cool. These are even cooler than solid white. So we're going to roll the blacks all day today. I did roll them when I opened the pack. I opened them up and I rolled them. And the first thing I rolled was a 6. So in true to form, yesterday I rolled, I think, 17 6s in whatever rolls I had. It was a crazy 6s day. And these dice came out of the pack with a 6. Let's hope that trend continues. Here we go. There's a first roll of the day is going to be a 6-5 yo. So it doesn't matter for us, really. Looking for a point to be established, and lo and behold, it is a 6. There's our new point. That's going to be a 6. So now we're going to roll. We're going to get everything turned on. The bets, the hard ways are on. The easies are on. Let's get 4 inside hits. Let's press them to the damn speakers, and let's get on that train or on the cab to the airport and get out of town with some money. Right? That's the whole goal here. Can I avoid big red for just 4 rolls? Right? There's a 6 and a 1. Okay, that'll eat up my easy 6, unfortunately, but you know, you get that nice, sweet $105 win over here on the big one. We'll put the $5 back in place, and let's put the 5 and 9 up to 100 each, and we'll add 24 bucks to each the 6 and the 8 on the inside. So we'll add, let's see, we'll take get some nickels in here. We'll take them both to 120. Well, can I get them both to? We'll just do it. We'll do it the right way. There's our, I should have been prepared, I guess, for the hit. It's been so many 7s recently, I can't even get a hit. There's our $2 and change. And 24 bucks on top of these things. Looks like it's going to be, let me get a quarter out of here for each of them. 125, 135, 144. Oh my God. Come on, John. 144. There we go. It's a weird number, but that's what it is. We're going to go full press where we can today. All right, let's do it. Just be Mr. Aggressive. Here we go. Coming out. The problem is if they hit, I got to figure out what they pay. There's a 5, 3, 8. There's a 3 and a 5. That's an 8. I have no idea what the 144 pays, but let's go ahead and do the math on this thing together. There's it's 114, not 144, 114. So 120 or 190 would have paid 105, and we had 24 to that. That pays 28. So it's 105 plus 28. That's 135. That pays 142. So there we go. 142. There she blows. Okay, we're gonna take that, and let's take this here and go. We'll go to 125 on this on the 5 and 9. We'll make the 6 and 8 look like 150. Make those numbers nice and easy now for the math, right? There's 150 and 125. They'll both pay 175. I can get a third hit here. We'll be in good shape. Although we do lose the easy or the hard 8. So I will put that money back from there. All right, there we go. 2 hits down. Let's mark those up. Here we go. Set, stacked, and spinning. Here we go. 415. That's awesome. All right, 1 1/4. I'll pay 175, just like so. And that was our hit number 3. Okay, we've pressed up pretty good here. Let's get one more set of presses in if we can. How far can we go with these things? I can go with the 6 and 8 to 180. That makes pretty good sense. We'll get them to 180 to pay 210. Here's 175. And I gotta get some nickels here. That's 180. With 15 change. Oh my gosh. Fumble fingers over here. And the 5 and 9, we'll take those up to each to be 150, okay? So we'll take this here and get 4 quarters for it. Let's exchange out 4 greens for a black. We'll go to 150, we'll go to 150. We'll put 75 bucks back in the rack. Okay, last hit here. Last roll rather is coming. Let's see what we do. Let's bang an inside number here, shall we? All dice are stacked. All dice are spinning. Can the black dice bring me home? They do. Thank you, Lord. $210 on the 180 from the 8 there. That's 4 hits on the 8. We never hit one hard way. So we'll lose the easy 8 again, which is actually a small price to pay. I'll take the 15 bucks back to the rack. And today, we did pretty well. We finally got our 4 rolls. We pressed them aggressively. There's our 210. And actually, there's our 350 that we started with, which means everything else out here is gravy. So loving that today, right? We got a pretty good outcome over here. We've got, I think, let's see how many greens we got here. That's a good stack. 2. There is 400, 550, and a bunch of change. 550. There's 575. There's actually 2 greens, which makes a black. So 600 bucks. Not bad, 4 hits. $600 and a bunch of white chips. I'll take that in 4 hits if I can get it. Versus yesterday getting my behind whacked on roll 2. So some days you roll, some days you don't. The dice will do what the dice will do. So that was a good one this morning. The black dice are going to be okay. Now I'm worried because we're going to use the black dice today to play some dark side, and I don't know if they're going to work so well for us. Are we going to hit any 7s today? I don't know. Let's see what happens. All right. Hey, good morning. Let's go over here and chat for a minute. Good morning. All right. Not a ton going on in craps today. We're going to go ahead and hit the presentation here. And the one thing I didn't put it up here because I forgot to, frankly, but Waylon did a cool show last night. He took my rolls from yesterday morning. Yesterday I rolled 77 times. I had a butt ton of 6s. Yesterday was the day that I had, if you looked at the chart, 77 rolls, I think 20 something of them were 6s. It was insane how many 6s there were with regards to everything else. And the 7s were way down, but I still made money on the don't with the 7s because of when and where they came, we still made money. And I just did the basic 5-5-5 don't method. We just basically did don't pass with some odds and let that thing ride out all day long. Waylon took that and ran the Grim Reaper with it, which is basically a don't pass and the no 4, no 10. So he laid the 4, laid the 10, and had a don't pass, laddered it all up, and also made money. I'm seeing on here, I'm sure I miscounted this morning. I literally haven't had coffee yet, so I probably miscounted something in there. I don't know what it was. 144. It wasn't 144. It was 114 to pay 142. And I think that's right. Let me go. Can I just double check it? Do you guys mind if I take a quick diversion here, and just make sure I didn't screw that up too bad? I think I said 144, but I had 114 out there. And I don't know, man. I just, like I said, it's early in the morning, and I haven't had enough Java in my life. So there it is. I'm getting my pay chart up to sort of prove it out for me, so I know. Where is that pay chart? Geez, come on. There we go. Do we have our dealer with us today? No, we don't, of course, right? Yeah, so 114 pays 168. 144 would have paid 168. The 114 paid 133. I paid myself 132. So I'm actually off by about $8 or $7. So sorry about that. Again, it's just, I'm not quite ready yet. Anyway, back to the show. Waylon did a good job with that. And it showed the thing about the Grim Reaper that he did yesterday, and I think he mentioned this, but poor Waylon, as you may know, he said on the show he's got a mouthful of stitches. He had a lot of dental work done, so he's not able to talk great. So he ran out my rolls against his strategy, which I think is fun. If there's ever a day where there's an interesting result, I think that's good to do for all of us, right? If somebody has a really interesting set of rolls, like yesterday with all the 6s, and frankly, all the 4s and 10s. I think the 4s and 10s yesterday outpaced the 7. If I'm not mistaken, Waylon, say it in chat. I think there was 10 4s and 10s and 7 7s, if I'm not mistaken. And even with that, Waylon's Grim Reaper made money. We knocked off the 4 and 10 more times than the 7 came, but the 7 still won out because he laddered up and brought it back down again, right? So that's very interesting, I think. That strategy held its own, not only against less 7s than it should have saw, more 4s and 10s than it should have saw, got knocked down, and it still laddered up, came down, and made, I think, $480, whatever it was that you made. Cool to watch that, actually. I kind of enjoy a little bit of that interplay, and it was cool. And thanks, Waylon, for rolling that out. That was kind of cool to see you do it. And I hope that you're feeling better. I hope that you're doing better today. I know, man, mouth surgery sucks. I've had some of that myself, and not to your degree, of course, but no bueno for sure. So get well soon, man. All right, let's move on. And my Craps for the Cure announcement is going to be this. I'm sorry, I was supposed to talk with Ian last night, and I didn't. I told you I went to the concert, came home, got about an hour and a half of sleep or so before our show yesterday. Worked a full day, took a nap before dinner, and that nap turned into 11 o'clock at night. So I never did call Ian. So we'll try and get hooked up today and get some more information about Craps for the Cure and how that's going to look. I did, however, on this update, I want to give you this note. Steve Press by One, who's the reason why we're doing this, right? Steve from Press by One is the impetus behind the whole thing, right? He's the guy. He's got cancer. He has actual cancer. He's working on throat cancer. He's got a bitchin' hard treatment schedule. His treatments hurt him, and he ended up in the hospital yesterday. So he's going to be in the hospital through Friday. He's not going to be at DiceCon now. So took a little bit of a downturn there with his treatment. I don't know if it was a reaction to it or what it was, but that stuff, what he's going through, it takes so much out of you. The cancer treatment is almost as bad as the disease itself, So what we're raising money for here is important, really, really important. And I think even if we don't make progress every day, I want to bring the slide up every day and talk about it so that we don't lose sight of why we're doing it. We're going to have some fun for sure, but it's all about raising money. It's all about awareness and having somebody like Steve in our midst who's going through it right now, actually, and can speak to it. I think it's going to be a big one. So I again, prayers up for Steve. Everybody put your heads together and just say a few words for him. I know he's going through a rough time, and he's probably listening in. And I just, gotta hope. I just hope he comes out of that thing strong. Whatever he's going through right now, no details given, that he's coming through this piece of it super strong. So there's the update for this. Hopefully, Ian and I will talk tonight, and we'll move up. We'll move up into having some dates. Now, I want to get some dates on this thing. So there we go. All right, let's see. What are we doing today? Today we're going to do this. We're going to talk about some more of Greg's Don't Pass stuff. And yesterday I ran this out, the 555 basic don't. We did 25 and 30 all day long. I did a couple of fun things with it, right? I parlayed a win once. I think I was half pressing the base bet on my wins, still keeping $30 in odds, keeping it close. We also switched out and didn't do odds on the 4 and 10, which frankly one time saved us, right? We lost on the 10 once, and that actually made it okay. I don't know if it proved anything, but we did have a couple of points get hit, which knocked us down. And even though I did a couple of goofy things in the field, like let's play the field during the come out, we still made like 145 or 150 bucks, where we could have made way more than that had I not been just experimenting with randomness. Good, strong, basic strategy. I was telling, who was I talking to? I forget who I was talking to now. It was somebody about the don't pass, about playing the don't. And we have this whole thing about, the don't players are frowned upon by the right side players. And we did the whole, here's the deal thing on it. And a lot of times, all my life saw the old guy in the hook with the cigar and all the black chips. And like, what's that guy doing? Well, he's betting the don't all day long. And you don't got to be a sourpuss back there. So here, I was thinking about this, and you should be aware, and I've said this before, but just top of mind, right? If you're playing the don't, you're not doing anything else, right? You're playing the don't, you're just playing the don't. You're not doing usually a bunch of other random shit that you got to worry about and think about. You should be the most social guy at the table. You should be driving the energy of the table and talking to people, right? That should not be a boring, ugly, sit by yourself in the corner kind of a night, right? And I think a lot of us see it that way. I've seen it that way over the years, but really you're the guy. You're the guy that has nothing else to do, right? And that will get you out of the FOMO as well. So think about that. Today, we're going to go and play some Andre. And the Andre is pretty cool. The Andre works like this. When you're getting killed on the come out, right? Yesterday, we avoided the 7 on 11 on the come out. We had one come out loser, I think, yesterday. There are days on the don't where you're getting hammered on the come out. And how do you mitigate that? Well, the way to mitigate that is to give up on the line bet, right? The don't pass is a 50-50 bet over time, roughly 50-50. Because you're going to get beat on the come outs, you're going to have the big advantage on the flat bet when it gets through. Some days you can't get the bet through. It just works out that the rhythm of that table is just the 7s are coming at the wrong time for you. You mitigate that with an Andre type of play. And all that the Andre is a do-we-don't. It's a pass line and a don't pass line, which automatically, aside from the 12, are a cancel out, right? What Greg does here is he doubles up on the pass line. So it's a $50 pass line, $25 don't pass. It's 2-to-1 is the way that Greg likes to play that, which does one thing, which is it takes away the 7 and 11 as killers for you on the don't. It makes them winners for you. So you win on the come out 7s and 11s, which is what you were losing on before. The downside to it, as you'll see here at the table, is that once you get a point established, the only way to make money on the 7 is to lay massive amount of odds. You got to lay odds that overcome your extra spread on the pass line to make it work. So what Greg does is 5x odds, typically down there on the don't pass as odds, to make that thing make sense. Okay, we'll do some of that today. A modification that you can make to this, because again, that's a big bankroll play. It's not what you walk up with. You're not going to walk up there and start throwing out $300 per shooter in lay odds, right? You're doing this because you're getting beat and it's choppy down the line. You're doing this to mitigate a factor and win a different way for a minute until the tides turn for you. So it does take bankroll. It does take recognition to see that it's time to be doing this and make the switch. I'm just going to go right into it as though we're making the switch today. That's going to be our little mental change, I guess. But if that bankroll is too big for you, if that requirement is too big, we're going to look here at ways to kind of lower that down. Okay, and we can keep the don't pass low. I actually was talking to Dylan over at Skill and Luck, and we both agreed that it's nice to keep the don't pass at $30, because if you're going to do the back wall lay, the 30 and the 30 are 1-for-1s. It makes a little bit of sense. The odds, of course, make it easy to kind of calculate the odds for yourself, 30, and then you can do $30 increments, so it makes the odds calculation very simple to do. You can also decrease the spread a little bit. You don't have to go 2-to-1. You can go 30 on the pass, 25 on the don't, and accept that it's going to be a $5 win on the come out 7s and 11s, right? If that's going to be your walk-up strategy, you can go a little bit lower and just take a nickel out of those come out winners, I guess, and then you're playing for basically your straight odds. It's $5 difference based on your odds. So that's a way to kind of do that if you want to play this as a walk-up and not destroy your bankroll. I'll show you how the math works here in a second, or how the chips look at least in a second. And if you want to go, and use the Andre as impetus for some kind of an iron cross or some kind of a hybrid play, perfectly fine. If you're going to be a hybrid player, again, we said it yesterday, hybrid play is knowingly going out for the tie, right? Hybrid play is knowing the tie, okay? I'm going to do this and this for the same level, so I know I'm going to tie, right? My inside bets get gone on a 7. I win on the don't pass on the 7. I tie. You're waiting for something big to happen. This is a good way to do it. This is actually the basis behind the Butterberg system. So the Butterberg is a pass line, don't pass line, massive amount of odds to cover your place bets, and down you go. I may just go there today. We'll see how that works out. So there we go. You're 100% right, PJ. You get nowhere doing this, right? And that's why I want to make sure I call this out, because you're 100% right here. And Greg and I talked about this on his show. We know that this is not a great bet, right? When you cancel out, it's not good. The reason why you cancel out on the line bets is because you're losing so much on the don't. If you on the come outs, if you're in the series where the come outs are destroying you, right? You do this so that you can avoid the come out, and now you're going to play for just the odds on the 7. It's not financially the best way to do this, for sure, but it mitigates the loss. And I think Greg's entire point was that do-we-don't mitigates that come out loss. You're going to have to come at it hard with the lay odds to make up for it, right? Again, there's no magical formula here on the math to make this thing work, but this is a good way to kind of, get through that ugly stage of the come out. So that's the Andre. We're going to do the Andre here, again, as a way that you that you settle into it and see how it works out. So Sebastian's giving a scenario. The nickel seems too low. May as well play them even, sure. And I'm going to show you some ideas here. I was playing with this last night. And again, the only reason why you'd go in nickel, I think, or $10 or whatever, and maybe it's table minimum is the spread that you can do there as an idea. You can do table minimum as a spread and grab the field, or table minimum as a spread and just take a little bit away. You're not trying to win the come out. You're really trying to mitigate it to take the odds. The Andre, the ultimate Andre, where you go back wall lay, now you're trying to win the come out. This one here to me feels more like let's hold it back and we'll play. The ultimate Andre with the back wall lay, which we might do next week, that's the one I think where you're more in attack mode, as Greg would say. So here we go. Let's go play it out. Let's go to my table. We'll put the KPI with the roll tracker on, and we will get this thing cooking here. What I've got in the bankroll there is a $600 bankroll that you can see there. So there's $550 in green, there's $50 in red, and I'm going to throw it out here, and we'll talk about the ratios and how these things work. So let's get the chips on the table first. I'll use bank chips for this. We're going to go with, let's see here, make sure I got the right amounts with me. If we did 25 on the don't and 50 on the pass line, okay, that's the ratio that Greg was showing us how to play this thing, okay? 25 and 50, 2-to-1 ratio on the don't pass, or from the pass to the don't. Let's say we don't care about the 7 or 11. We know that the 7 or 11 are going to win. We're going to win a quarter on those. You'll lose a quarter. So if we get big red, I'll put in the come, or the 11, okay, that wins you a quarter, where it used to take your quarter. So 22% of the time now you're going to win a quarter versus lose a quarter. That's nice. On the 2, the 3, or the 12, however, which used to be winners for you, so I'll put them in red chips actually. So the 2, the 3, and the 12 are now losers for you. They're going to lose you a quarter. They used to, as a don't pass player, you kind of like those because they win you. The 2 and the 3 win you a quarter. The 12 is a push. No longer. The 12 actually will cost you the $50. There's no payment down here. Cost you 50. The 2 and the 3, you'll win 1 and lose 2, replace it, right? And that's where you end up with those two. So it costs you the quarter to get back in the game. So the craps numbers still suck. There's no getting around the craps numbers in this system, but this does get you past the 7 and 11. Now, once you're on a number here's where it gets mathematically or financially tough for you playing the Andre, because you've got to make up this $25 because now you're upside down. Now you're a 60% favorite up here most of the time, right? To win that bet, but if they 7 out, you lose 2 and you win 1, you're upside down. You got to lay odds to make that make sense. You got to lay enough odds to make it make sense, okay? So like on the 6 and the 8, you got to lay, what is it, like 250, right? To win down here, you got to lay massive amount of odds to win your 125, right? Or to win your 100. You got to lay 5x odds to make this bet overcome the 25 that you're giving up on the point being hit, right? Now at a 3, 4, 5 table, the best that you can do is this. And most of the time we're playing at 3, 4, 5 tables. That's what you're going to be. You're going to be at max odds, right? There to win 1 1/4. That's a rough deal, right? You're going to make up the quarter and win 100 and win 100 on the backside there. So it's tough. It's a tough one when you're overcoming 50 or $25 deficit here to come out. That's why we were saying earlier to do something like a lower spread back in here and a lower spread back in here. Maybe it's 30 to 25 or 40 to 25, whatever it is, can help make up the need to go so high on these odds, okay? And these odds feel a little bit better, I think, when they're in $30 increments, when you're doing the math on them at least. So if you went to $30 here, then it's easier to calculate your odds payments. That's a thing that you can take a look at too, because it works for the 5, 9, 4, and 10 as you roll through it. So there's a quick and dirty look at how that plays out. Excuse me. So let's do it. Let's get this money out of our bankroll, okay? And we'll play it from the bank instead of from the table. So here we go. Let's roll out. Let's grab 75 bucks out of the rack. We're gonna play it Greg's way first. We're gonna go 50 and 25 for the come out. I've got some reds here to take care of the odds if we need it. Let's get it rolling and see what happens. I'm gonna put the black dice on notice here. If the black dice hit too many points, we're gonna change them out for the evil whites, and we'll see how that works out. But here we go. Let me get the roll tracker engaged so I can type stuff in, and here's our first number. Let's see what happens. 617. So out of the gate, thank you, black dice. This is 617. So out of the gate, we're gonna earn a quarter. So I'll pay it out the right way one time, and then I'll do the differences, right? So that we're gonna win 50, you're gonna lose a quarter. Out of your $50 win, you replace your don't pass, and you take a quarter back to your rack. That's how that pays out. So the 11 does the same thing. When the 11 happens, I'm just gonna basically drop a quarter from the bank and take the quarter to the rack, okay? That's how we're gonna pay it out. Now, you could take that quarter and immediately reinvest it. Okay, you know me, I like to bet with what's kind of happening. That quarter to me could have gone somewhere else, right? We already won a quarter on the 7. You can put a quarter right back here on the don't and do a full 1-to-1-to-1, which means I can take less odds next time. I can save my exposure down here by doing that, or I can just hang on to this thing or whatever I want. But here we go. That was the first roll. Again, you have tons of options doing this, which I like. Okay, we're on the 5-5, the hard 10, okay? Now in a 3-4-5 table, right? The best that I can do here is we can lay 150 against the 10, right? And that'll win us 75 bucks. Remember, at 3-4-5 table, your odds are gonna pay to where you can win up to 3 times your flat bet. That's the best that you can do here, okay? If you can do 5x odds, okay, which means you can win 125 down here. That's like, remember, 5x on the don't is how much you're allowed to win, 5 times the flat bet. Then I can go to a 250 to win 1.25. Okay, that would be a max bet there. We're gonna go 3-4-5 table today. So we're gonna take our max odds, will always be 6 times the flat, 150 to win 75. So here, look at what's happening here. We have 150 out there, okay? That would win, let's play it out, 75 bucks, but you'd lose this, you'd replace that, and you win a quarter. You take a quarter back to your rack. There's where the toughness comes in on this strategy, right? That's why Greg says, you got to play this at a table where you can go beyond 3-4-5. 3-4-5 odds, taking that quarter home, that's a lot of risk for a quarter, is a lot of risk for a quarter. So this makes way more sense at a maximum, like a 10x table or a 5x table like can have an AC, where you can really go 250 to win the 125. We're gonna play it at 3-4-5 level just to kind of simulate it here so you can see what's going on. But that's that is the nemesis here is you got to overcome a quarter every single time to make it work. So here we go. And again, this is not a walk-up strategy. This is a strategy that you play when it's going south for you on the come-out numbers. So we made back a quarter on the come-out that we might have lost in some previous attempt. And there's the 5-2-7. So we do 7 out like we're supposed to. Let's play the whole thing out. We've got 50 here, and we have 150, 175 here. We're gonna lose our $50 pass line bet. That's gonna go away. I'll put it here where it goes away, okay? From that loss, you'll get paid on your flat bet. And over here, 150 is gonna pay 75 bucks. So there, plus the 2 chips. We're gonna put 2 of those back on the pass line to replace what we lost. This comes back to our rack, because what we put out there to start with, and we get back, I'm sorry, I lied always, 50 bucks instead of 25. You get 50 bucks back to your rack. And our rack now has 400 plus our reds, and we have a little tiny bit of profit. 75 total between the last initial come out plus this early 7. Here we go. Let's get a new number established. Oh, look at that. 617. It's working out perfectly today. 617 on the come out. So beautiful. We're going to get paid. How come it didn't mark it up? 617. Why is it not? Oh, there it goes. Oh, no. What happened? Oh, somebody's typing in stuff into the roll tracker. Hold on. Somebody else is playing along with us here. Somebody is typing in their own stuff and it's making the roll tracker go away. So I'm going to retype 527. We had a 55 hard 10. We had a 639. We had a 527 and a 617. That's our roll. Somebody else is typing shit in there as we're going. That's why it's going away. All right, so here we are again. We're gonna win a quarter on that pass line. A net of a quarter between the two bets. That goes in here into the rack. Again, let's mark this up, and we'll keep our back row there looking like 600 if we can. There's a 3, 2, 5, a 5, 3, 2, 5. All right, point's going to be 5. And again, 3, 4, 5 table. It's always the same. If you're a quarter here, you bet 6 times your flat. Okay. So again, 150 is the most you can put out there against that. That pays 100. 150 pays 100. It pays 2 to 3. So there are 3 50s and 150. You get paid 2 of them back. You're winning $100 here. Again, it'll be a net of 50 coming through. Okay. Here we go. Let's get that big red. 5, 2, 6, or sorry, 4, 2, 6 rather. 4, 2, 6. And there's the aces. There's a 1 and a 1 off on the wall there. Sorry, my math today is, I'm blubbering a little bit here because I'm just like, for whatever reason, my brain's not, it's like a tick off. There's a 6 and a 1. So we're getting on both sides here, which is kind of nice, right? 617. And again, we know that's going to pay an even $100 net on here. You will lose 50 back there. Okay, so you get paid 100 here. You get paid, whoops, drop the chip, 25 on the flat. We'll replace the 50 on the pass line. We'll bring this all back to the rack. If I get my rack set up, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 500. Actually, I'll put the other black. There's 2, 3, 4, 5, $600. All of this over here, plus that is essentially profit. We're gonna still need $100 out of here to make our next bet, but we're doing pretty good. One more come out 7. Would be awful nice, wouldn't it? 6, 3, 9. Okay, let's get to the 9. 6 and a 3 is a 9. Again, we're gonna lay 150 on that 9. We'll mark it up. And again, we're playing for a big red here. So far we've had a few in a row, which is nice. We're in a pretty good little cluster of ugly for the right side players here. This is a 6, 4, 10. Maybe this will be the long roll. Maybe this is the monster. Nope, it ain't the monster. It's a 6 and a 1. 6 and a 1. So again, we're gonna lose 50 on the pass line. We're gonna win, I'll pay it in greens. We're gonna win 100 here and 25 on the flat. We're gonna replace the 50. We're gonna take back the 150 that we had out there in odds and bring back the 75 in profit. And we're looking pretty stout so far. So far, this is working great. And, you know, I wanted to show you the option of going right side. I'll talk about it here. We may even do it, but again, we're doing just fine. There's no reason to run to the right at this point, right? Let's stay where we belong here, right? There's all that red on the screen. You gotta love it. And there's a 6, 4, 10. New point will be 10, 6, 4. So once again, we'll drop our 150 out there. Okay, now remember, let's play this out. If you want to go right side from here, you can go right side here. And let's look at the win you would get. You would lose $50 on the 7 here. Okay, so the 7 protects you for this much money. You're gonna win then a quarter, and you're gonna win on 150, 75. If you were to replace this, your net win for the shooter would be $50. Now, if you're gonna play hybrid style, okay, you've got to come at this looking at, I've got $50 that I could play with. This protects you against the 7 for $50 worth. So if you're of the mind that you want to play some hybrid, you're allowed to drop 44 inside. Okay, I'm going to do it just to show you how this works. Okay, I know that some people's heads are about to explode when I do it, but I really don't care. I want to show you how this works. There's 44 plus 6 is 50. So now you're out there. You're in a knowing you're knowingly taking a tie. Okay, you're saying, I'm gonna bet 44 here. I'm betting $50 basically here. A net of 50 for this bet, 44 inside. If you can avoid the 7 and hit some of these things, you're gonna make a little bit of money. You're gonna pick up some nickels here as we go through, okay? That's hybrid version of this. How much you're gonna win on that bet is what you're allowed to play up in here. And again, I'm knowingly accepting the fact that right now I could tie. Knowingly accepting that fact. This is a hybrid system, and hybrids are tie, tie, tie until something great happens. That's it, okay? This is again, I'm not trying to solve world hunger here. I'm just explaining how hybrids work and why folks will do this. And there is a hard 8, a 4 and a 4 hard 8. Now again, you can do this any number of ways. We're gonna take, we'll do the 14 instead of 15. We'll take 14 bucks on the 8. And maybe as a hybrid player, this is my roll. We're gonna bring those both up to $18. Okay, let's get to a point where I can take a green chip out of the table and maybe make some money on that thing. So instead of doing same bet, we're gonna do a little bit of a half press, get these things up, and lo and behold, there she goes, right? We end up making on this whole roll $6, okay? Because you're gonna lose your 44 that you went out there with. It was a little higher there, but we're gonna lose the 44, okay? We're gonna win a net of 50 bucks. We know this. We've done the math. We know that we win 50 down here. We lost 44. Our net, $6, okay? Again, the hybrid player is knowingly going after a tie. They're knowingly saying, well, that's a possibility. We're gonna get burned more often than not up in here and win a nickel. $6, $6 at a time, and then we're gonna catch the long roll. That's the goal of it, right? If you're playing that kind of play. And again, I'll show it to you one more time. The table trend here, or the cluster of 7s, dictates you should never be doing this with this kind of a table, but we're gonna do it anyway. We're gonna do it just so we can see the rhythm of that and what this system can get you. If we want to, we could lower this bet down and show you an option. I'll take a quarter off of that. And let's do something fun. Let's go and do it like this. We're gonna go with 35 bucks on the pass line, okay? So we're gonna lower the ratio. So this win becomes a little bit more significant if we do it like this. And you can actually take, if you want to, the 10 bucks you got on top here, which is the difference on the 7 or 11, that's your difference, and put it in the field, okay? And get a little field come out action. So the 11 actually pays you a little extra. The 7, of course, takes this, and you're gonna lose this on the 5, 6, or 8 as the point. But as an option, you can do that as well and get a little bit of extra juice coming out if you feel like you're rolling some numbers. Let's see what happens, right? Now we're really tied here, right? There's a 9, a 6, 3, 9. But you do that for this, right? You're gonna get paid 10 bucks as your number gets set. Bring that back in. It's like a little freebie. That's kind of fun to make sometimes. On the 9, now we're gonna go again 150, and this is gonna change things a little bit. We're gonna go 150 down here. We're still gonna win 125, but now we're gonna lose a little bit less. So our net on this side of things is gonna be a little better, okay? We give up a little bit of love on the come out 7 by doing this, but you get a little bit extra joy in here. So you can put your money where you wanna put it. Again, it's $15 difference, but over the course of time, 15 bucks makes it adds up, right? There's an 8, a 5, and a 3. Oh, I should have put the 44 inside, rather. I messed up on that. Well, let's do it now. We'll put the 44 out there just because we can. We'll actually do 32. We'll do 30, 34 rather. Let's get whites. And we'll do that. I should have been out there for the 8 right there. But I was talking. So we'll accept the fact that we missed one here. Let me type the 8 in. Did I already type it in? I did. Okay, here we go. Random Randy. 325. 325. Sweet. The 3 and the 2. That'll pay for one out of the rack. That'll pay 15 bucks. That goes to the bank. We'll make the 5 look like 15. We'll bring 10 bucks home. There's a hard 6, a 3, and a 3. So we'll take, again, for the 6, we'll do the same thing. We'll take 15 for 1. I'll drop another penny. We'll bring the 6 up to 18 bucks. Last time we brought both the 6 and the 8 up. We can do that. We can actually drop them $6 more and get both the 6 and the 8 up a little bit. It makes that a $2 win. But now they're all three at $15. It's kind of cool. And we'll see if we can't get a little bit of that money back that we lost last time. Waiting out Big Red here. There's a 4-4 hard 8. There's one of the 4s. Here's the second 4. Pays 21. And what I'll do now is I'll press up both the 6 and 8. I'll drop, I don't have any more dollars, so we'll need to get 5 1s. 5 1s for a nickel. Let's get them both up, and we'll take the rest back to the rack. Press them both up by 1. Single unit pressing up here. Those are at $24. There's an 8. Did I put a 9 in? Sorry, that should have been an 8. Here we go. Okay, here we go. 6, 5, 1, 6. All right, we're on a good little run here. 5, 1, 6. 5 and a 1, that's a 6. At that level, $24, that pays $28, okay? When I'm pressing like this, when I see a color change, I'll take the color change. I'll take the green chip back to the rack and be happy with that. So that one is ready to go, a little higher. That's cool. Made a little bit of money there. So we got our money back off the 44 inside. We've made back in our rack about $40. We still have all this money out here, right? There's a point in time where these got to come down before Big Red comes. And this time, look at that, the 549, our first loss, 549. We're gonna lose down in here. We're gonna lose 150. We're gonna get paid 35 on the pass line. Not enough money to go back out, but our net loss down here on the flat piece at least ends up being, we gotta take these here, ends up being 25 plus the 150. So that's our first time getting hosed down there, which sucks a little bit, but our bankroll's okay. If you look at our bankroll, puck could be off by the way. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's our $600 that we started with, right? We've got some 50, 75. We got $110 over here, plus 24, 48, and 15. So another 56, whatever dollars that is out there, plus this. We're at about $200 in profit right now. Even getting hammered here on that don't pass. So let's go ahead and play one more point cycle and we'll call it. I got a hard stop here at 9 o'clock. Let's do one more point cycle. Those will be off, of course. The point's gonna be 5. I'm gonna move the 15 to the 9. We're gonna go again 150 in odds. We're gonna go and put our profit at risk here. We're gonna lay against that 5. Hope for the best. Here we go. 5, 2, 7, right out of the gate. Right out of the gate, 0.7 out. So we're gonna lose our insides. And again, this is that thing where the hybrid system, we didn't catch a good run. We caught a decent little tiny run, made a little bit of cash on that, right? We left, whatever that was, $80 out there, right? And that's the point is the 7. We lost 80, 24, 24, and 20. You're gonna pick up $100 down here. So your net out of this transaction is about $25, okay? Take this into account down here and your net was basically a tie on that shooter. That's what it comes out to be. Here we go, let's add up our rack and see where we are. There's 200 in black, 3, 4, 5, $600. That's our starting bankroll. Plus we had, that was included. We had 550 and all the reds. So let's get the reds turned into greens. We'll get the greens turned into blacks. There's 2 of them. There's 258 or 257. Okay, 257 in that little run there. Now again, we had 3 consecutive come out losers or point losers. We had 2 out of the 3 rolls. We had come out winners. So the Andre made its hay down here on the pass line, and the fact that we were able to back that up with consecutive losses up here. Our potential income went away when we tried to hybrid. Now again, I said I wouldn't have hybrided on this table. That's not the way I would have played this out at a real table, but I wanted to show you the math of you're gonna win 50, you can bet 50. One of those times we end up walking away with the $6. Nothing. The next roll, we took 4 or 5 hits in here, basically covered those bets, still gave it up in the end. We still gave it up in the end when Big Red came. But I'll take 250 out of that little run. That's not a bad. It's probably half the table going around before it even gets to you. I've had this before. Played don't against everybody on the table until dice came to me. I've got that kind of profit in my rack. And, before I even get to shoot, I'm looking okay. So that's pretty stout little win right there. I'll take that. The Andre's fun. And again, this table today was the exact right table for it. Look at the red on that thing. We had that one little run, right, where you had, 2 3 9s, 2 6s, 2 8s in that little run there, which is decent. But across 24 rolls, we had, oh boy, I can't see all the set. There was another one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We had 7 7s out of 24 rolls. Not great, right? We expected to see 4. We saw 7 of them, and many of them were on the come out. So as I'm looking at that, at the chart here, now this chart doesn't really show you the bottom. The chart that I'm showing you doesn't show that. Let me switch out so you can see this. I'm going to switch this one on. Let's see, the distribution, the outcomes. Nope, I want that off. Hang on, that one's got to come on. Why isn't that coming on? Hold on a second. I got to maybe refresh it. Reload the widget. Hold on. There we go. I don't know why it does that, but you can see that one in the middle, that the big middle finger in the middle, that's the 7 today. It's hard for you all to see that. Maybe if I expand this out, there we go. The roll distribution, it's hard to see, I know. But the 7 in the middle there, that's the one that's way high. It's the 7. There are 7 of them when there should be, you can't see the hovering, but there's 7 7s there. There should be 4, okay? On the other side, the 9 showed 5 times, and we should have only seen 2. So the 7 and the 9 were actually the ones that were the hot ones. And the 10 also. The 10, we got 3 10s, and we still just saw 2. So that's where the distribution changed a little bit. But again, on a deal where you only have 24 rolls, you can't learn a thing from 24 rolls, right? It's too short of a run to get anything out of it. But in that short run at the walk up of the table, there's a tiny pattern there. We actually hit it right. We actually hit the Andre hit it right today, where we got the come out 7s, and then also the points being missed. That's hitting it on both ends of the equation. I love that when that happens. It's not normal to do that. You don't normally get the come out 7 win and the point win on the 7. That's kind of taking both bites of the apple there. So thanks, Greg, for showing us that and how that's played out. And again, if I don't go hybrid today, and again, I went there just to show you how you would calculate that, our profit wouldn't have been 250. It would have been about 350. So pretty stout don't side play there as a way to switch into it when you're getting hammered. It takes bankroll to get there. Obviously, I'm laying 150 every single time on a 5X table. I'm laying 225 or 195. I'm laying a lot more money on those things at a max odds table of 10 to get through it. You need bankroll to do it. That's why you don't play this all the time. You play this kind of as the table tells you to stop with those damn come out 7s, and that thing really does pay off. So there it is. That was pretty fun. I like that system a lot. That's a good jump into the system. There we go. Let's see. What do we have? Looking at chat here, make sure I didn't miss nothing. If you have questions, let me know, of course. No questions for me. We'll do the PC thing. There's a couple here. We address this. Sebastian says a nickel seems too low. You're right. And I put the nickel option out there as mainly for bankroll control, right? You don't gotta lay that much when your spread is only a nickel. That's the only reason why you would do that. You're right. Otherwise, you might as well just play it up even. And yeah, Skill says at a $5 or $10 table, easier to calculate odds against when they're in $30 increments. So if your flat bet's 30, it's very easy to do the 30s on your odds. It makes the math easy for you. So that's a reason why you go 30 instead of a quarter, and then you just go 60 and 30. So yeah, I think that's it. What time is it? 8:55. Good. We're in good shape here time-wise. If there's anything else you want me to address, drop it in chat now. Otherwise, I'm going to basically jump out here and get to my actual paid job day. So, old number 7 is asking a question about calculating SOR. The SOR is your 7 out ratio. So it's the 7s between point cycles that we calculate. It's a misnomer, right? it's a way for somebody who practices dice control to calculate how many wins they can get between the points, right? That's what the SOR is telling them. If their SOR is 5, which is a good one actually, you're going to see 5 numbers between 7s. That's the idea, between the point being set and the 7 out. That's calculating. The SRR is a more raw 7s to rolls. How many 7s per rolls that I have, which there's debate on which one of those is the more valuable number. One of them is tricking your brain into thinking that you're doing better than you are. The SOR is. The actual come out 7s do matter, right? If you're a don't player, the SRR is big time because this come out 7s matter to you. If you're a pass line player, the come out 7s also matter because you're getting paid on them. The SRR is the number to use if you're working on your dice throwing to just know how many 7s you're throwing. It's the more valuable number. When they come, you can't control when they come, right? You need to know how many you're getting. And I think the SOR is one of those things that was created as a false positive to me. Count your 7s. Your 7s the 7s are what is important, I think. So there it is. All right, guys. We got to go. I got to get to work. Y'all have a great day. Again, thanks for joining us. I know we got a couple of new subscribers. I saw some new names out here today. I didn't get a chance to say hello to some of you this morning. When I first came out, I can run back here, though, and say hi. Seal and Luck was first today, by the way. Walter's here, and it's good to see some new faces coming through. It's good. We have a pretty good crowd today, 40 people. You can expect, by the way, I know this is going to scare Vince away, but you can expect some more dark side stuff. I like playing the dark side, and I think Greg has given me so many tips and tricks on it. I played it myself through the years. There's so many ways to play against that one number that are interesting. It's not always, as you can see, it's not always a simple don't pass and Hail Mary. That's not the way the don't works. You can play it a lot of ways. Today's a fun way to play it, right? Mitigate the don't pass, do your odds. You can do so many things with it. The don't is it's actually fun. And we're gonna have a lot of fun with it. So you can see more of that, and I'll back you up with some win craps numbers and some charting and all that coming up. But that said, tomorrow is Friday Follies. Tomorrow, we're gonna hedge the daylights out of everything. TX Dicer, will the casino let you roll with a do we don't? Here's the deal on this. My casinos do not. I'll show you what's allowed. Let me go to the table really quick. I'm gonna zoom in here real quick for you. My casino will not allow this bet, right? Boom, boom. They look at the line at the Indian Casino here in Washington as a single bet. To them, both of those are comprise one bet. At a $10 table, I am allowed to do this because now I've got an extra $10 at risk here and here. So they'll allow me to win or lose $10 on the overall bet. That's how it works locally. So the pure do we don't, I cannot do. I have to offset. And they will allow an offset of table minimum here in Washington. In Vegas, they will allow this. There's not a casino I know that won't allow that. And like PJ said earlier, this bet here is a winner for the house. You can do that and you think you're in great shape until you roll 4 12s, right? And you lose your quarter. That's a winner for the house all day long. So most casinos allow that. And again, if you're gonna do this, it's basically a tie. The game that you get by doing this, let me just show you real quick. I got 4 minutes left. Make sure you pay attention here. The gain that you get on this, let's say that I'm predisposed to want to lay odds on the 9. Let's say that I hate the 9 so bad, I'm putting $60 against the 9 every single time, okay? Well, what does that mean? 60 wins 40, right? Your VIG on that is gonna cost you $2, depending on your casino. You're gonna pay $2 in VIG for that win every single time because you hate the 9 so much, okay? You're gonna end up burning money, a little bit of money, but you're gonna pay VIG every single time. Down here, what you can do is whatever the point is, you can lay your $60. We'll put $60 out there. These odds are VIG-less, they're free odds, okay? So basically, you're gonna let the dice tell you where your odds are gonna go. You don't get to pick the one you wanna lay, but you're getting odds without paying a VIG. That's the only advantage to doing this straight up 1-to-1 is you get VIG-free odds on whatever number the dice say the number is going to be. You don't get to pick it. That's the only advantage to doing this right here is the free odds. You'll do this sometimes. You can put $30 down here and 25 in the don't come. The 7 comes here, right? You win a quarter, you lose a quarter, and it saves your don't come bet as it's working through. When it goes to some number like the 10, the odds can come away and you can put them back in here. So you can like put your odds where let's say the point was a 6. You can move your odds from here to here. They're both vig free odds, right? That's a way to kind of move your money around where you want it most. If you want to play against the 10, play against the 10, 30 to win 15, or you can leave it down here. When the 7 comes now, you get paid a flat on the 10, which is great. Plus, this is 25 here and 25 there. That's a good way to do this, right? If you can use the odds as a tool. But the flat 1-to-1 do we don't, the only advantage is vig free odds. Otherwise, you're just kissing your sister, and there's no fun in that. Trust me. All right, there we go, guys. I gotta roll. Let's get out of here. Y'all have a great day. Again, thanks for watching. Thanks for joining me in the mornings. I love having y'all here. Family every morning. Tomorrow we're gonna go hedge crazy. I'm gonna see how many hedges I can make at the same time. I'm gonna put like $200 out there to win $1 if I can tomorrow. I'm gonna try and do the dumbest thing I can do, and see what happens with it. So there it is. Y'all have a great day. Yeah, God bless y'all. Have one.